Okay, there's one that stayed with me, the client I was working with. He was sexually abused as a child, and the result of that, he's taken all sorts of drugs and alcohol just to mask the pain. He reported to me that he used to hide it from his parents because he didn't want it to go any further. And he would take the abuse, so he wouldn't go on to his brothers to take the abuse. And he used to self-harm a lot, obviously to mask what he took for a couple of years. So I was working for a while, and then he saw a psychologist for some time. And there was one day he gave me a call and said, "Oh, I took 4 bags of heroin and drink. I just want in my life." I said, "No, you need to come in and see me ASAP." It was about 4:30, I think it was like a Tuesday afternoon. He said, "I'll come in the morning." I said, "You sure?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Call the crisis line, call there." He said, "I won't take nothing more, I'm fine." He came in the morning, went to his GP, and they done a urine test on him. Obviously they saw that he was using on top. He was angry about that. So within that time and that morning, I called an emergency meeting with his social worker, psychologist and myself to meet to see how we can help him. So he came, he was angry about that he feels his confidentiality was breached at the GP. There was a shared care worker there. So we kind of got around that. So he sat in the meeting and he looked really pale and looked really stressed out. So I stopped the meeting. I said, "No, this is not the place to be for my client. I'm going to take him to the mental health service," which, some people would advise me to go over, but I felt that I should go with him and support and be there. So the social worker offered to come with me. So we went over there, sat down on the drop-in in St Charles, filled in a form. Then the doctor came on, sat with the doctor, and he was explaining how he's feeling. So the doctor went round the room and asked us how we feel. Now, I've known the client longer than the social worker and the doctor. And I said, "All the time I've been working with him, I've never known him to ring up and tell me that intentionally want to take an overdose, he took this and do that. He was self-harm, he would use, but not to that amount. And I think it's a cry for help, and there is an issue, and I'm very concerned. So I'm not sure, I can't honestly say that he's not going to do it again if he was released from here." He asked the social worker said maybe a crisis line, the crisis card might be enough. Asked the client, he said, "I don't know what I would do when I leave here." So he spoke to my client again, he went through what he'd done in his history. I'll backtrack a bit, on the way round to the mental health he saw his son and the son's mother coming from the school, and he gave his son a hug. He's a little blue uniform, blonde hair, really cute boy hug. "Oh, Daddy, we'll see you later." So off we went, because Father and Son is going to get the help and support. It's at Charles. We went there. Anyway, so back to the story in the room, asked us what we think. I said, "I think you should keep him in, because I've never been so sued like this before." My client said the same. Then the doctor said to him, "Well, you might be in here and be worse off than you are being at home." Anyway, so he said he's going to go and speak to his senior. So at that point, I had to leave. There was another crisis at the hostel, so I had to leave. But the social worker's there with him. The client said, "Can I come with you?" I said, "No, you need to see what they're going to do here." So I left. The next morning, I called him, no answer. Okay, called him again that day, no answer. The next day, no answer. "No, something's wrong here." Ran a social worker, and I said, "Not happy, he's not answering." She done a welfare check, and he was dead on the floor, face down. I believe personally that he should have kept in, assessed a bit more, but they said no, they assessed him, the crisis card was enough. So then he died. Yes, he died 2 days after me bringing him around. So it stays with me, because I think, I'm not saying the psychiatrists don't know their jobs, they know their jobs, I know my job. I believe that if he stayed in, I don't know if it would have saved him, but I think being a bit more assessed, staying in overnight, I think he just wanted that bit of maybe a cry for help, attention, it might have been better, but yeah. So the thoughts come back about seeing his son on the way round. Daddy was seeing that, so the effects are going to have on his son, because his son never saw him later. Daddy's gone. So I took it quite, hard, thinking, God, he's thinking, he's going to see me later. Two days later, Daddy died. So the effects it's going to have on the son. The son was only about 6, I think. His mum was an ex-user, so that, my client was worried about that. So that was a very traumatic time for me. And then it went to the coroner's court. So we had to go and speak to the coroner. And what I found quite hard, when you have to turn around and face the family, and the judge said, "Anything you want to say to me?" And I thought, "Oh God, what are they going to say to me? It's going to be hard. Are they going to ask me things that he's asked me not to declare to anybody or what's the yes and no. But anyway, it was all good. So I was quite, I felt relaxed when they said that, my son spoke very highly of you, and he did mention that he was going to go around to the mental health team and get the support. Obviously, he didn't get that support. So that's, then I felt like, did I do enough? Did I not do enough? But I've done everything possible that I felt I could have done. And the last straw was, I'm going to take you there until the end, to what they assess. And it was going beyond my time of work. But I think that, you have to go beyond that. It's not, all right, it's 5 o'clock, I'm going home. No, at this time, this client needs you. And if it's 5 to 5 and they're in crisis and you're going to save a life, you have to do it. It's not a job, well, no, I'm going home at 5 o'clock, I'm sorry. So that is why I walked round there, and I was there till after 8, 9 o'clock. And we went there about 4-ish, after 4. So that sticks with me. Did I do enough? Did I not? But I don't think that I could possibly do. It's just one of them things. So that's one of the main stories that really sticks with me. What could I have done better? I think there's nothing I could have done. I just think that it just got the better of him. And it's just, these things do happen, but, it's just to get out there to people that we do support to the end. We do it from the beginning to the end, and where we can help, we will help. And we will go beyond our job to help, because that's what, in this field, that's what it's all about. I think anyway.